Well, hello. Welcome to our conversations where we discuss issues that help to move you up and forward. We're having some technical glitches, but hey, we're good to go. My name is George. I'm a life and a business coach at Vula and Consulting. And I was telling you a story. Some years ago, I was driving home from a function. It was late. It was around midnight when I had a punctured tire. It was in the downtown area. It was dark and the place was deserted, no streetlights. And I couldn't have picked a worse place to have a puncture. So I couldn't leave the car where it was. And neither could I get help. It's late, it's midnight. So I had to change the wheel on my own. So out of the car I came, opened the boot, and took out the spare wheel and the jack. And suddenly a man appeared from nowhere. Literally, I didn't even hear the guy come. And he just said with a smile, "Sir, can I help you change the wheel?" Now, I'm all nervous now. I said, "Yeah, thank you, go ahead." I'm looking around because, you hear all these stories about how these guys operate and how this could be a trap. So, but I'm dressed formal. So if he can help, that's great. So he worked very quickly. But as he was working, he told me, "Oh no, I work at a service station nearby, and I'm on my way home. I often get called to do these tire changes when guys have punctures." But he said, once we're done here, you must drive home very immediately because this area is very, very unsafe. Oh yeah, which made it really worse for me. And I'm feeling really nervous. Okay, so he worked very, very quickly. Was done and put the wheel in the boot, put the jack in its place. Now I'm thinking I need to pay this guy. So I'm closing the boot and going to the seat to try and get my wallet. Of course, I'm getting worried taking a wallet out in the dark. But I looked around, he's trotting off and he's waving goodbye and he's going. So I actually never got to know his name or any other details. It was just really a quick thing, and well, I jumped into the car and really took the shortest route to get home. But I've never gotten over the story because I never really got the opportunity to thank this guy, really from nowhere. And he disappeared into the darkness. What reminded me of the story is I was reading about the law of reciprocity, which says that when someone does something nice for you, you will have a deep-rooted psychological urge to do something nice in return. You may even reciprocate with a gesture for which is more generous, actually, than the original good deed. So in my case, I had wanted to pay this guy, this stranger, because I was acting in accordance with the law, really. When someone does something nice to you, you want to reciprocate. He, on the other hand, showed me what kindness was all about. Really, if you're talking about acts of kindness, this must rank as one of my top. Because it's dark, it's in the middle of the night, he has no obligation, he can just walk by and go, and I hadn't even seen him. But he stops, actually changes the wheel, puts it back in the boot, and doesn't even wait for anything, just dashes off and is gone. Now, that is an act of kindness. So, how many times have you failed to say thank you to somebody? That's what this is all about today. To someone who's done an amazing deed for you. Not because you were mean, but because circumstances didn't permit you to do it. Something came in the way and the opportunity to say thank you was lost. But deep down, you were full of gratitude. And conversely, how many times have you performed a good deed for someone without any expectation of a reward, right? You just did it. And indeed, you weren't rewarded because the person actually never had an opportunity to You never had an opportunity to receive the gratitude to show you gratitude. Can I ask you to think of the people in your life who have done you good deeds, really great things, but you haven't thanked them? Not because you're mean, as I said, but because you never had the opportunity. But now that you're sitting down and you're thinking about it, how many people have actually done great things for you and you never actually said thank you or reciprocated in another way? You see, we spoke some time ago that doing good deeds is not trading, right? It's not, I'll do this and then you do this for me. It comes from the goodness of one's heart. However, it has a domino effect. And this is one of the points I wanted to raise. Because of that deep-seated, deep-rooted psychological edge to return the favor. So when somebody does good to you, you have this deep-seated edge to do good, maybe not to that person, but to someone else, because it has that domino effect. So if I go back to my tire case, I'll conclude it for you. So because the guy advised me to drive and not look for a service station and just go home, he'd said, in the morning, go to a service station and get this tire sorted out, which I duly did. I went there, got to the service station, and they looked at it, and there was a 4-inch nail in the wheel. They took it out, sorted it out. And then I gave this guy, the guy who did it, a tip. It was very, very generous. He was literally shocked. He looked at me in surprise. And I said, no, it's okay. And he thanked me profusely. But you see, I wasn't really doing it for him because he had taken the nail out. It was because somebody had been extremely generous to me the night before. He'd really been exceedingly generous. And therefore, I was returning the favor, not necessarily to the guy who did me the favor, but to this guy who benefited from the act of kindness of somebody else. What I'm saying is that, acts of kindness have that domino effect. Because inside each one of us, that law of reciprocity, there's an edge to reciprocate and even do better. But sometimes circumstances prevent you from doing it to the person who's done it to you. But because it's in there, you'll end up doing it to somebody else. So if you do it often enough, guess what will happen? You'll have all sorts of acts of kindness coming through. I thought I would share that with you because it was amazing that this man never stopped and asked for anything. He just did what he did out of the goodness of his heart. And he could have taken serious advantage of me, but he didn't. So, hey, how many people have you helped? And how many people are helping you? So think about it and put some acts of kindness. We have, I think, something like 100 days or so to Christmas. So why don't you do that in the lead up to it? This week, we're going to be talking about the laws of the universe, actually. So I'll pick up the subject of the laws of the universe tomorrow and the day after. Hey, thanks for tuning in. My name is George. I'm a life and a business coach at Vula and Consulting. Hey, if you like this video, like it, share it with your friends, connect with us, and stay positive. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Hey, bye-bye now.